going live. Hold on.
Yep. My brain is broken. Yes.
I know your brain. All right, we're going live. Hold on.
Oh, shots
Here we go.
fired.
Here we go.
Man down.
Here
Oh.
we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're almost live. All right, I do believe we may be live right now. Hold on. Yes, we are live. All right, we're going live. We are live right now, as a matter of fact. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
So that's what Olivia Munn said to me. Oh, shit, sorry. I'm going to mute this.
Olivia Munn said to you, we're live right now?
No.
At what point did the doctor take you off that med?
Which one are you referring to?
Olivia Munn med.
Well, I've been trying to get off PCP, but, it's with withdrawals, you got to take it slow,
So we've been streaming now for exactly 50 seconds, and you've already mentioned PCP. Very cool.
You got to rely on the YouTube heroes, and everyone loves you, Piz. I love you. Trying to get off PC. No homo. Oh, boy. I'm down the wrong path again. All right. No, don't say the Lord's name in vain. Oh, my God. I can't just hang on. Let me just record.
All right. We're live. Hello. We are live. Movie talking with patrons. I am joined tonight by my buddy Lorne. What's going on, Lorne? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I'm very tired from work, but I'm good. And it's been a while since we've done anything like this, so this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. Also with me tonight is Orc. What's up, Orc? Drinking some Coke Zero.
Yep, hoping for kidney stones and lotto tickets that are winners. That's what we can all hope for in life.
Yeah. You've got the right outlook on things, Orc. You've got the right outlook.
All you need a little Pepsi Zero Sugar, to compete with Coke Zero Sugar when everyone has to change their name. When people go low, I don't go high. I don't go lower. I just go great value.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Keep it real.
With me tonight also is Stone Gaspin. What's up, Stone?
I'm doing awesome, Piz. Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm just chilling here in my New York apartment, enjoying some sativa and Tropicana grape punch, and thought I'd join in.
Very nice. Very nice. How's everything in New York?
Hot. Just, yeah. It's funny, before we went live, I had a fan going, and I've just been enjoying sitting in front of that fan for the past 2 hours, but my AC is kicking in pretty well now, and just staying cool.
If you hear a duck quacking, just let us know. We'll understand why I have to go.
Is that Howard?
New York Ripper reference, huh?
New York. Yes.
He got the meme. Lauren knows his memes.
I know my Fulci.
Good job on the Fulci mention there, Orc. I wasn't expecting that from you, but well done. Well met. Well met, my friend.
When you make a Beatrice Sensi reference, then I'll be impressed.
I don't even know who that is, so I'm a fucking new. I can't say special words. Damn it.
Anyway. Yeah, so we'll probably have a couple of other folks popping in and out here during the course of the night too. Let's see what's going on out in the chat. We've got Dave Shaw with us, Movie Freak 2000, horror fan fanatic, Jaden Grimes, our old buddy DJ, Barbecue Network. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. Got some movie topics we'll be discussing tonight on this movie talking with patrons. First thing we should get into, very sad news from earlier this week. Venerable character actor Rutger Hauer passed away. Very sad news, Rutger Hauer passing away. I heard a lot of people, paying him tribute. And they were talking about, different movies that he was in and this and that and the other. But one movie that was surprisingly left out of a lot of those lists was The Hitcher. I saw so many people mention, even like horror, you know.
Everybody was fucking going crazy and jizzing all over fucking Blade Runner, and I was just like, dude, Hitcher's is the best movie by far. And because of Hitcher and the ending, if you haven't seen it, I'll just say I've never looked at semi trailers the same way ever again. And if I'm ever traveling across the country, uh, you have to have seen the film to know what I talk about. Luckily, it's still in a snapper case, so that's awesome. But that's all I'm gonna say.
So many people
Well,
mention, even like horror. You've got the the new German Blu-ray media book that's out now. So that's out. But yeah, a lot of people mentioning even some more obscure.
Yeah,
Rutger-
Wanted Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
I was publicly wondering where Gene Simmons was at the time the record died.
But yeah, and it seemed like a lot of people just kind of left out the Hitcher, and I was kind of taken aback by that. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Rutger Hauer, man, in so many great movies, so many great performances from so many great movies. I didn't know that the whole Tears in the Rain soliloquy at the end of Blade Runner. He wrote that. Yeah, he just kind of came up with that on the set before they shot it. So I mean, wow. Really interesting guy. Any favorite performances from Rutger Hauer you guys want to discuss? Lauren, go ahead.
Well, I mean, The Hitcher would be my favorite film he was in, but and I think it's a misunderstood film in a lot of ways because it's not the face level slasher that it looks like. But it was way ahead of its time, far too ahead of its time for people to get it. Part of what's cool about Rutger's performance is that he is very much mirroring C. Thomas Howell in a lot of his mannerisms are just exaggerated. And if you watch the film from the right perspective, you start to see like not just a great villain performance, but there's a lot of sympathy in his portrayal too. As evil as he is, it's a really, really nuanced performance.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it again with the eye towards the fact that the Hitcher himself might not be real. In the third act, we change perspectives. There's literally a character wakes up and the perspective has changed in the movie. Watching it from that perspective, his performance only gets better because there's more layers. I love that. I actually think that, in a way, he was one of those guys that elevated anything because I don't think Hobo with a Shotgun would have been a good movie at all without him.
No.
It was just been an outrageous trauma movie, right? Basically. But he managed to make it into a real film. So I think his body of work as a group rather than as any individual film is just really what we should remember him for, and not let it all be Blade Runner all the time because everyone's awesome in Blade Runner. Let's be real.
Yeah. No, I agree. What about you, Stone?
Well, it's very interesting because I've been doing a challenge on Twitter, and last month I did a day for best Paul Verhoeven movie, and admittedly nobody mentioned Spetters or Flesh and Blood or Turkish Delight or Katie Tipple or Soldier of Orange. It was usually either RoboCop, Total Recall, the usual ones, but. You know, I'm a little surprised. I got to rewatch all those Paul Verhoeven, Rutger Hauer movies now because I'm not going to lie. I've never been the biggest fan of Blade Runner, although he is great in it, obviously. In fact, 2049 actually kind of kickstarted my Blade Runner curiosity again, and I do plan on rewatching it soon. But yeah, but I mean. I plan to watch those old Paul Verhoeven movies first, though, with Rutger Hauer, because I think that's you know how he gained all his talent and everything was through those films.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you say, Orc? Favorite Rutger Hauer performance?
Easily The Hitcher. And then the only reason why I watch Blade Runner is because Cole wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Pearson again. Oh boy, he wouldn't shut the f up about it, and that's one of his top 4 favorite films, like he has on his letterbox. which way more people should use that New Zealand site, by the way. It's a really good site. It's the best movie site, besides, not including IMDb or fake Newspedia. But yeah, I'd say The Hitcher's my favorite by far. Fries and Truck Stops, just it's never been the same. And then, and if you hit the Midwest, you know exactly what I mean. And Blade Runner was cool. I didn't even know what happened at the end of the movie the first time I saw it. It was like he had to break it down to me. He's like, did he die or what? What happened? I'm like, it's like I was just watching it at like 4:30 in the morning. He was like, "This is what happened, Dork. You're stupid." Okay, cool.
Rutger Hauer did say something interesting about Blade Runner 2049. He said,
"Oh, really?"
Yeah, he said that it was a good movie, but it just didn't have a soul.
Interesting.
So
it was made last year, then. I mean,
because he brought, he kind of brought the soul to that movie, really. Because when you look at that film, Harrison Ford's character is kind of dry. You've got all the replicants who are kind of dry, and then you have the Rutger Hauer replicant who is charismatic, who can be very intimidating, and ultimately he just wants to live. He doesn't. He's a machine, but he wants to exist, and he understands that when he no longer exists, he's done. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I don't know. There's something really kind of profound about, I think, his performance in that film. But I agree with Lauren too about The Hitcher. The Hitcher's just there's so many levels. There's so much going on in that film that you can dissect, endlessly. And
it's crazy because it's such a quiet film for there to be that many layers.
Yeah.
Yes, there's the violent stuff that everyone remembers, but there's a lot of space between, and a lot is buried there in very brief snippets of dialogue, in things that appear on screen but don't seem to have significance. It's a really tight narrative, and it doesn't get nearly the credit it deserves. It's not even really so much a horror film. It's almost like an existential drama.
No, I agree. Yeah.
A good comparison I can make with people not mentioning The Hitcher, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's like if Lance Hendrickson died, which hopefully never happens for a long, long time. It's like I would go to Pumpkinhead and what's the other one I just had? Oh, Near Dark. Those are my go-to movies for him. And people would mention more of his mainstream stuff. But yeah, kind of. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly wouldn't mention Aliens.
Yeah. No, that would be all across Twitter. Oh my God, Aliens! Holy shit!
But yeah, we definitely lost a very talented actor. Absolutely.
So now we've lost two of the replicants now. We've lost Brian James, and now we've lost.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Daryl Hannah needs to watch herself.
Boy, watch out, Daryl Hannah. See what's going on out in the chat. TJFF mentions Nighthawks, which is a good, very good Rutger Hauer performance. Steak Sauce says, "Hey yo." Mike Pope says, "Hello, what's up?" My buddy Malek is. Buddy Malek is in the chat.
There's White Trash Jedi there. That's all I care about.
White Trash Jedi has not arrived yet. He will hopefully arrive shortly.
Yo, I'm taking your screen name if you don't show up, bro. Okay, I'm gonna pay money for that domain.
So yeah, let's move on and let's talk about this. This is something that just happened. And Orc, you're here. You're our big gamer. Apparently, GameStop's future, which has been in some doubt here, really for the past several years, seems to be in serious doubt now, as the company tried to basically the GameStop brand tried to sell itself to another company. And
yeah, this is not to be an asshole, but this was 2 months ago that this happened.
Oh, okay.
Anytime that happens on anywhere in the stock market, it's a really bad sign.
Right.
I was hoping the PS5 and the Xbox One 69 420 Bill Gates Make-A-Wish Foundation console would be the last leg of GameStop, and they'd be like 5 more years in existence. But this doesn't really hit me hard for gaming. Like I talked to Lauren, and we all discussed on the Sausage Factory, and then just anyone who watches your channel is like just them closing, which is gonna happen soon. And then when you go into Walmart and Target and you just see how empty it is, and how there's like cards with codes on it, I'm just like, I'm thinking about it. We were like, probably there's 5 years left, maybe 6. But I go into Walmart now and there's a $3.74 bin for DVDs. There's a $5 Blu-ray bin, and I'm like, is this gonna be the last Black Friday where there's actually like stuff, physically?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that the next generation of consoles will probably be the last consoles, and everything will go to cloud gaming or whatever. But the more recent news after they failed to sell the company that just happened today is that the company's laid off a bunch of regional leaders. They've laid off 50 regional leaders. So that's a sign of bad things on the horizon. So
and the gaming industry or competitive game, we call that a good game. That's a good game well played. You know that Piz, when you're dropping nukes in Modern Warfare.
That's GG. That's
GG.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah. Dave Barnes, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well tonight.
Which, I've never been a big GameStop fan. I would always use Walmart, Target, and Amazon mainly. I never liked their policy. Like the new Call of Duty's coming out, and you're gonna give me $5 for the previous year's one, and like a store credit, like not even a Lincoln. Like, go F yourself, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, their trade-in policy is a joke. It's been a joke for a long time, but I mean that's kind of caught up with them, I think. And honestly, I think my GameStop sells more of everything but video games inside it. You know what I mean? Like, it's become a big thing where they have like exclusive Funko Pops, and they have this figure and that figure
and coffee mugs and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna miss like GameStop. Circuit City, I still remember. I think we all do. I miss that place. And Amazon, Walmart, and Target aren't going anywhere. But if Best Buy closes, that's going to mean a lot to me. Unlike GameStop, where it's like, whatever, I don't really care. It was casual as F anyway. I don't really. but Best Buy, I hope they don't close. And Best Buy and Target are two hard-hitting Minnesota companies. So if one goes, and Target couldn't even survive in Canada. So I'm just like, oh, man, this isn't good. But yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Warren.
So, are you suggesting we're all going to... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, man. Are you suggesting we're only going to live in a world that has Walmarts and Costco's and nothing else?
What a brave
like an idiocracy. Oh, welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco.
So Amazon shits on everything else. Walmart in North America and in China is the biggest brick and mortar by far. And Costco treats their employees so well, and so many people buy from them, and their $60 a year membership, that they're big too. So if I had to put money on what 3 would survive, it would easily be Walmart, Costco, and Amazon. And Costco, you're like, well, they're not that big compared to Walmart and Amazon. True, but if there's one in a city or a town near you, everybody and their mom shops there, and then they have a $60 membership too. So then they're the best place to work. Like, if you're not a doctor or something, dude, they're people making baller money with benefits that I know. But yeah.
What were you gonna say, Lauren?
Yeah, so my understanding is that Best Buy is looking to reduce their physical footprint in all new locations and even some existing locations by about 50%. And this is mainly because they are going to go with what they sell that they make a big profit on, even though they don't sell much of, which is your washers and dryers and your major appliances. And the opposite side, which is the cell phones, which they're getting the spiff money back from the providers. But from what I hear, this is literally the last holiday season that we're going to see CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, any kind of...
No. God fucking damn it. Sorry. Lauren, I have to ask, with Best Buy staying open, how much of their sales, if you know, are cell phones and TVs?
Well, the cell phone part is, they don't break down their reporting in any way for the public. That would give me that. But the cell phones are hugely profitable for them because they're basically only paying for the stock that they sell, and they get kickbacks on the service when they sign people up for it. So it's intense for the labor they're putting into it, but the payout is just huge. And the same thing with the major appliances, whereas, yes, they have to ship them into the store, but you have one on the sales floor that you don't touch until you replace the model. CDs, DVDs, all that, the video games, you have to physically work the racks. So you're paying labor to work it, not to sell. So the reality is the economy is just changing for retail everywhere. And, I was in music for 13 years and music retail for 13 years, from right out of high school to 13 years after. And I watched that industry die. I didn't stay to the end, but I watched it really collapse over much less than this. So it's just a matter of, there was a article I read recently and I have the link somewhere. Maybe I'll even throw it past you guys. But basically, in the last 5 years, 50% of the DVD Blu-ray market has disappeared.
Yeah.
Now, in a traditional business sense, that's already a loss leader. So we're on a countdown to extinction on physical media.
So Megadeth style, to interrupt you, they're saying this might be the last one.
For retail, having a physical component. Now, the physical discs will probably still be pressed and made available as long as they can make money for people who don't have to pay for, physical locations and the costs that come with that. So Amazon will be just fine with selling you a copy of whatever comes out. But even that, you have to ask yourself, like, what will the cost be? Because without physical media in stores, that level of competition is just gone. What they want to charge, they charge.
All right, Screen Factory is going to be $100 a title because they're fucking pieces of shit. So, and according to what you're saying, I'm going to have a lot of fun this Black Friday, and it'll be the last one. Thank you, Lord. I appreciate your honesty.
I wish I could give you good news about this, but all I can say to people, everyone that can possibly hear us, is just, if you like something, support it. Now is the time, because this will give us a little bit more time if you enjoy physical media. And the other thing is, stop bitching when you don't get what you want on physical media if you get a physical copy. Because believe me, companies are cutting corners. Hey, Piz, when's the last time you saw a director's commentary on a new release?
I don't remember.
It's because there is no money. Special features, they're either paying people pennies to produce them, and those people are probably spending more than they'll ever make on it because they're doing it as love, or they're not making them. So, I mean, I don't really care about special features, and I know you guys all do, but the truth is, it's to the point where as bare bones releases are looking like they did when DVD launched. Because, I mean, we're going to get a chapter list as a special feature again, because realistically, anything you spend is just coming out of your bottom line, which is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Would two perfect examples of that be Scream Factory being the one I dislike, and then someone literally restoring it for the love of the genre and how much he loves film be Synapse? Would those be two good examples?
Synapse would be a good example. I think that Vinegar Syndrome would be a good example too. I mean, they're not going to put a ton of bonus features, but they're taking films that they know they're going to lose money on, and they're putting them out.
I just didn't mention them because I haven't bought. I don't think I own any Vinegar Syndrome, but I've cut down on collecting just because I guess want the format. I don't fucking know. I can't buy as much, 30.
Well, that's just it, and that's what I've always been saying about. We love special features. Well, most people, not me, but the problem is it pushes the price up. And in one way, it's good because it's showing there's still enough of an interest to pay a premium price on it. But it also means you're buying less, unless you're a lot better off than I am.
Hey, and by the way, quick, I think, I meme here and there, but you shouldn't shit on people if they're buying every, Arrow, Scream Factory, Synapse, Release Criterion. No, I give more power to those people, and I envy their, epic collections, but, when it's, Big Trouble in Little China or, My Bloody Valentine, with those two epic releases coming out in probably December and February, I mean, Big Trouble in Little China is epic, man. I love that film. It's maybe second or third after They Live. But I'm gonna have to go with My Bloody Valentine. Canadian love, homies, right there, bam. Yeah. I mean, but when you have to choose, and they're 30 to 40. You know, it's 40 always, and then they're like, oh, pre-order, and then they make it $29.99. Like, that's just sad. They used to be 20. Halloween 2, 3, and they were all $20, and those were jammed with special features, new commentaries, making of. Like, where'd that content go? And I understand why it's not around, like Lauren said, but it really triggers me, to say the least.
So all that material has to be licensed again, believe it or not. It's not just sitting in a vault ready to be thrown on the discs again. It's all costs money, and the money's not being made on the other side. And so far, there's no appetite for streaming to provide special features at a premium. I mean, that might fix the whole problem. That might save physical media, but it's not. There's no appetite for it.
We're depressing people in the chat. We need to move on. We're causing a depression.
I do that.
Yeah, we're causing a depression in the chat. Josh O'Brien, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. I don't know what CTR is, DJ, but I do agree with you, at least on COD. COD games nowadays are pretty much all entirely the same.
I have to interrupt again. Piz, did you see the reveal?
Hold on. Manigatio, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Jerpin, what's up? Gotcha Productions, what's going on? Dave Shaw is really wondering what direction they're going to take with the new Saw movie.
Oh boy.
Does anyone give a fuck, to be honest? Like, really? Paranormal Activity's better anyway, and that's not saying much.
I gave up after Saw 3. I'm sorry. I gave up after Saw 3.
Well, this is the new Chris Rock produced, I think co-written Saw that's going to feature Samuel L. Jackson, I'm sure, as Jigsaw. Why else would Samuel L. Jackson be in the movie if he's not going to be Jigsaw?
I'm tired of these motherfucking traps in this motherfucking warehouse. Well, if LeBron's making slasher movies and Lionsgate films and has partners and with stuff like that, and Chris Rock's making Saw films, I mean, they get a lot of money from Netflix, so I think we're in a good place here, boys.
So I hate to do it again, but I'm going to depress everyone again.
Go for it. Go for
it. This Saw movie, the gross from it will make it a more profitable franchise than Friday the 13th.
Yeah, well,
really?
Yeah, I could see that coming. I'm surprised it hadn't already eclipsed.
It barely has not, but this one's going to push it over.
Somebody make the meme. Saw, at least it's better than Eli Roth. Oh, too soon? Spicy.
I'll take Saw over Halloween 2018.
What's up, Jeff?
That's
How
bold
you
statement.
doing, man?
No, it's not.
I've never played Crash Team Racing, DJ. Never played that. I did see the new reveal for Modern Warfare work. Hopefully they'll do a beta so I can at least see what it's like before I decide if I want to buy it or not.
That'll hit in August. I'm just wondering. I liked World War II. I know you weren't a fan. And Black Ops 4 makes you want to just end your life. I mean that in the most generous way. You know, hopefully you don't. Hopefully you don't. You hang in there. A lot of McGriddles to be had. But I had fun with Black Ops 4. I liked everything about World War II except them taking the swastikas out. Not because I'm a neo-Nazi like Mike. No, I'm just fucking kidding.
Wow.
But I don't like when they alter, or Lauren, you know, let's be real here. But I don't like when they alter history, you know, to you know, it was the first time I remember with any war game it was Medal of Honor, like 10 years ago. Maybe it was like 2 years after you made your YouTube channel, so like 8, 9 around there, and it was like they didn't want to use like Taliban stuff because it was like Allied forces versus like, you know, corrupt people in the Middle East. Well, not corrupt people, but terrorist organizations, I should say. Oh, ripping the Crips. But when like, it's called Call of Duty World War II, and you're not gonna have swastikas, just iron crosses. That's like just like having the History Channel and the Military Channel, and not putting like Hitler on there. Just being like, oh, look, it's Mussolini. It was just him the whole time. Yep, pretty much just him.
Well, yeah.
Fuck it.
They've rewritten history in order to not offend anybody and to include everyone.
And Disney's the king at this. And what's you guys can help me out. What's that saying about history? What happens?
You mean repeating itself?
Oh yeah, that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's just put iron crosses everywhere. Fuck it.
Yeah. So. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's move on GameStop's dying. Physical media is dying. It's just going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just
all flags are getting banned, no matter what they stand for. Rainbow flags are next.
Let's talk.
And then Seattle, Portland.
Let's talk about the news that we're going to be getting back-to-back Halloween sequels in 2020 and 2021. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and there's a rumor that Paul Rudd will be returning as Tommy Doyle. Lauren, I'm dying to hear your enthusiasm for this project.
Oh man!
Instead of having a shitty PC, is he gonna have like an Apple Home now? And it's gonna be like, they don't want you to have the kid. It's like,
Hold on, guys. But Lauren, before you tell us how enthused you are for Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends with Paul Rudd returning as Tommy Doyle, Jay Stingray's with us. What's up, Stingray?
What's up, man?
You doing all right?
Yeah, man. Sorry I'm late. I was just working away here and I lost track of time.
Oh, no
Jay
problem.
was working at his PC. Working. Yeah. Yeah. Sure, what documents were you looking at there, buddy?
Business documents and tax documents, Orc. I mean, come on. You know what's going on. You know
Hey, he's got a lot of bookmarks to handle. I'm sorry, Jay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, we were talking about we started off this stream talking about the passing of Rutger Hauer. You got any fond Rutger Hauer memories or favorite Rutger Hauer performances?
Yeah, man. We had a big weekend. We had kind of a marathon this weekend, me and some of my buddies, and drank a lot and watched a lot of Rutger movies. I'm trying to convince everyone to watch Dracula, but no one will go along with it. So
I've actually seen that one. I don't remember very much about it. I prefer Rutger Hauer as what was his name in Salem's Lot? The vampire's name. I forget. He was the vampire in the Salem's Lot. What with the I call it the Rob Lowe Salem's Lot is what I call it.
Oh, the reimagining.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We watched Surviving the Game. I like that one quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
He's great in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually, what is he, like Swedish or was Danish, something like that?
I believe so. Yeah.
So I mean, he can play like a range. Like he can play like a German dude. He has a really good American accent too. Like we watched Blind Fury. He plays an American dude in that one. So
lots of movies, lots of drinks. I'm sure lots of soda and mostly alcoholic beverages, and I'm sure you had a massive barbecue going in Mississippi, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's on my bucket list. Fuck meeting anybody else. That's my jam.
Did you watch Split Second too?
We did. That's probably my favorite,
man.
just because I have childhood love for that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it in the theater. My brother took me when I was like however old, whatever year that came out. So, yeah,
92, I think.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But
anyway, I'll let Lauren go ahead and trash these two films real quick.
Yeah, Lauren, go right ahead. I'm sure you're enthused about Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and just the idea of having Paul Rudd back in the fold, just it makes my toes tingle. What do you say, Lauren?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
No. So about 12 years ago, I had hernia surgery.
Uh-huh.
And for those of you who don't know, that's actually when, a loop of intestine has worked its way between a muscle tear. And that's what a hernia actually is. And every day I would push the hernia back into my body multiple times. And what that felt like was kind of as if your whole equilibrium would just change. And you'd go from feeling very heavy to very light. I'm as excited about Halloween Kills, the dumbest film title of all time, and Halloween Ends, which better be a promise, as I am of getting hernia again and going through that experience every day for another 10 years. Listen, I'm glad people liked 2018. I did not. But at this point, I'm more annoyed by the fact that people love it think ridiculous things like it's the best since the original. I've even heard people say it's better than the original, which really kills me. than the movie itself, because the movie isn't even the worst of its franchise.
It's better than the original. I think we'd all agree.
I have to go.
But they both suck compared to both Rob Zombie films. Free
look,
to Kill or whatever the hell it's called.
Look, the Rob Zombie films are probably the biggest blessing that franchise has, because
Yeah.
they'll never hit that low again.
Blessing as in classical fans killing themselves? Is that what you mean?
You'd have to try. You really would. You'd have to try to make a film worse than that. And even then, I'm not sure. I think by accident, you'd have two scenes that were, passable.
I think you could have the most indie newbie director not try and still make a better film.
But, I do have a serious complaint, about the idea of announcing 2 sequels to a horror film, though, which is that the sense of drama is just completely lost if you know, right? I mean, not that you think that. I'm not sure what that was about. Not that you ever thought Michael Myers would die in this film. He's knowing there's another chapter coming, but don't you kind of lose something by announcing 2 films in a franchise like this? I mean, kind of like I almost feel like a lot of people are just saying, "Can we get to the 3rd one now?" How exciting can you be for the 2nd film at this point?
I mean, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, that certainly takes some. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if they do it kind of like, I don't know. I mean, the original rumor was that they were going to do 2 movies and release them in the same month. Do you guys remember that? And I remember thinking they'll. Part of me was like, that's kind of interesting, and then another part of me is like, they'll never do that because they'll be competing with themselves, and what if there's problems and they have to do reshoots, and it's just too. They're going to turn. One of them's going to turn out to be Halloween 5-ish, where it's just like it's incomplete, and you know what I mean. You've got, whatever. But,
Jay, can I get a real talk?
A real talk.
Sure.
Oh shit, my boss is quick tonight. Let's go, boys. All right, I never thought I'd see the day. I'm sure you guys have. Many of you have been sitting on the pot, pinching one out, just browsing your iPhone. Mm-hmm. That Halloween would surpass Friday the 13th with the number of films made. Can we think about that for a second? How big of a lead Friday the 13th had? What happened? I don't care whose fault it is. Never again. GG.
Yeah, but the Halloween sequels don't have the epic Roman numerals, so that's all I have to say about that.
And neither series has anything on the Amityville franchise.
Oh,
that's true. Or the Leprechaun series, the Leprechaun saga.
I'm the Leprechaun.
But
is there like 15 of those films? Every time I walk into Walmart, there's like a new one, and then on Amazon it recommends me. I'm like, I'm just here to buy saltines. And it's like
Back
to the Hood in Space Part 7.
Part 4 in space.
They just really must need money.
Bork, I've been meaning to ask why you do go through so many saltines.
Well, Lawrence, some of us aren't living in, $15 million mansions, as you can tell, in your office there. Decked out with signatures, loaded with people past and present from the franchise of Friday the 13th. We're all not well off like you. But, $1.78. And as you run your mouth, okay, I don't know, in the soft state of New Jersey or the tri-state area, I'm gonna die one day. Great value saltines, $1.78. So let's do some Jay the Stingray math, okay? Because he's a baller, straight up. You can get this box with 4 packs of saltines in any state of the greatest country in the whole world, of all 190, however the fuck many countries that don't, they don't exist, just we do. You can get this box for less than $2 full of saltines. How does that make you feel, knowing that?
So, Jay?
Yeah?
Can I get a real talk?
Real talk?
No!
Do you understand the goddamn word he just said?
No.
See, how many saltines in each one of those packs, Orc?
All right, so if you go on my Fitness Pal, so this is one box of saltines, which contains 4 packs. There are roughly 36 crackers in each pack. 36 times 4. Come on, Jay, crunch the numbers. And also,
I'll round off at a whole $2.
No, it's less than $2, dude. I know math. I know numbers, and I'm really good. It's gonna be huge savings. Great value. But yeah, it's just. I mean, I just want to get a T-shirt that
Orc.
says great value. But
Hey, Orc, please stop showing the crackers. You're giving me the munchies. Thank you. Ah!
If you knew what crackers for, you would not have the munchies.
Crackers. Do you see the great value? When I see the sign, it knows that my day is going well, and I'm gonna have a happy day.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Goodness gracious.
Hey Piz, ask me why I'm still alive.
No, we're gonna move on.
You know why? It's because I live for the great. I live for the great value. I live for the great value. Fuck it, dude. Fuck it. I live for the great value. You know how much this costs, Piz? Like 10 cents. This is gold in Detroit.
Worth every penny.
Michigan, sorry.
I'm very happy that Orc is hydrated.
Yes.
Can you imagine him dry?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. You never want to say that to a girl, by the way. Dude.
Thankfully,
it's like
you'll never
people only do things for money. You know?
Oh fuck.
What would you say, Lauren?
I said, thankfully, you'll never have the opportunity.
Well, yeah, I never have, but thanks for rubbing it in, asshole. That's what she said. And hey, speaking of product placement, why are you drinking a Coke? Do you have a problem with Pepsi?
I don't have a problem with Pepsi. I do prefer Coke Zero to Pepsi Zero Sugar. And back when RC10 was still being produced, that was the better of all three, but it is no longer.
Okay, well, not all of us are 67. Okay, but anyway, so can you give me a logical reason why you like Coke over Pepsi? Is it because you're not a fan of Michael Jackson? You're a racist.
I think Coke just tastes better than Pepsi personally. I think it's just got like a sweeter kind of, I don't know, well, just a better flavor.
It reverses for me if we're talking diet versus regular. When I was drinking regular soda, I preferred Pepsi to Coke, but in diet form, I always prefer Coke to Pepsi. It's just a smoother taste.
They don't still make Pepsi Max, do they?
It is Coke.
That's what this is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I like that quite a bit, but I like the zero sugar as well. But regular, like full on sweeteners, I would go Coke any day of the week. Did anybody try the new Coke when it came out briefly?
No.
I didn't even get it near May.
I know I saw you could order it online, and I almost did, but I was like, I just can't justify spending like $30 for like 3 cans of Coke.
I'll give you that loaded up Coke, like sugared up Coke and cherry Coke. That's you put that with a cheeseburger and a pizza. Ooh, it's over. That's America, like right there.
And it's all because of Stranger Things 3. All because of Stranger Things 3. But let me ask everybody in the chat tonight, does any of you guys do any of you have hope for Halloween Kills and Halloween's End in 2020 and 2021? Has David Gordon Green, is he returning? I know they were courting him, but is he signed on the dotted line? Do we know?
Do we care?
Yes. Yes, we do. Because if
this is going to be in the same universe as the previous film, right?
Yes.
Did you say Tommy's going to be back? And,
that the rumor is that Paul Rudd will return as Tommy Doyle, but
I don't think that'll happen either.
They're not paying him the money to come back. They're just not.
I have a question.
I don't know. They could.
Hey, Stone Gasman, I have a question too. What does this make you think of?
Is this going to be a Tommy Doyle version of the kid from the original film, or is this going to be a Tommy Doyle version from The Curse, even though Paul Rudd is playing?
I mean, he would be.
Could they do that?
I think
reboot the whole character.
Yes, I think they could do it where he's Tommy from the first movie, but then have like a little, you know what I mean? Have like some sort of quirky little reference to Halloween 6 thrown in there. You know what I mean? Like, Tommy hands.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, or like Tommy hands Jamie Lee Curtis like a rose, and he goes, "Ooh, I got pricked by the thorn."
Ooh,
you know, so just a subtle little reference.
That was better writing than what we got in 2018.
Yes.
Ooh,
Or he can throw down his runes and say Yahtzee again. That'd be pretty cool.
Entertain anyone?
oh, if it was a reference to the producer's cut, oh my God, yes,
Deep
all
cut.
all three cuts.
yes. Let's go deep on this one, man. Jeez, deep cut.
How deep do you want to go, Pit?
Oh God.
But do you think Paul Rudd would do it?
No.
If they threw enough money at him, sure.
Yeah, but they're not going. They're not going to. Blum is not going to spend significantly more than they spent on the last one. It's just not going to happen. They know they can make the money and spend $10 million and get $100 million back. They think anyway. By the way, I'm not convinced that doing it a second time this soon or a third time after that, I'm not convinced that money's there again. I mean, H2O made what it made, and then Halloween Resurrection made what it made, which was far, far less. Even Halloween Return of Michael Myers versus Revenge. I think that they'd be smarter to spread these out and not announce more sequels. I think it's something that if you return to every 5 years, you can make good money. But I think saturating it, I don't think the average, because it wasn't just horror fans that went to go see Halloween 2018. It was a general audience that did.
Yeah.
I don't know they're going to get a general audience back 2 more times this soon.
I don't
If
know.
it's got Paul Rudd, though, it could do well. Because Paul Rudd is super hot after Marvel, you know.
You bet your ass he is. Yeah.
But that's
If
part
he
of the
says
problem.
yes. But then again, that's like saying Leonardo DiCaprio is interested in doing Critters Bite Back.
Oh man.
And he's hot as fuck too.
Well, but I mean,
I'd see that.
they can throw. Well, I mean,
Or
they got
Cracker.
Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter in there. So I mean,
Whoa,
clearly,
hang on. Okay, wait, hang on, Piz.
Clear-
Jay's doing a fucking Wayne's World close-up. Go, whoa! Hey guys, look at this. I'm gonna tell you about Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay.
I can't kick anybody. I can't.
Nightmare on Elm
kick anybody
Street
this
is the greatest franchise of all time.
one.
And I like gummy bears.
So anyway, well,
Orc, I
don't
warned you.
I don't even know where we are.
Do you have an outline for tonight? A syllabus?
I do, but we left off about 150,000 miles away from Halloween. Now I don't know where we are. We're lost.
It doesn't matter where we are.
nowhere.
It's where we're going,
Okay,
baby.
start over Parker Howard, and we'll go from there.
Well,
Quit.
let's say this: would you guys pay to go see the new Halloween sequels?
No.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I'll go see them.
Right.
I will go see them.
It's a toss-up for me.
I think I'm done.
And Stone and Lauren, I can see why you are the way you are, but instead of getting a bunch of films that suck, and not getting a pleasant surprise like Crawl, I'd rather support franchises that I grew up with, even though they suck, because they're not going to suck ass as much as Rob Zombie's films, and that's how I look at things. And we're never going to get another Friday the 13th, maybe in like 20 years when a fucking meteor hits the Earth, But until then, all we have is Halloween.
I would just continue to look outside the Hollywood system for what's good. I mean, it's just that's the only place that I'm getting that excited. I mean, the big Hollywood studios are not going to produce anything, and the niche producers like Blum have fallen into the trap of being, well, Blum Productions feel like Blum Productions, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the Raimi produced stuff from Ghost House all kind of feels like Ghost House pictures. I don't think you can look to those sources anymore if you really want the good stuff. I just don't. That's okay. I mean, maybe we go back to where we were in the late 70s where all the good stuff was coming out independent. I mean, Halloween was the biggest independent of all time. It came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Taurus Entertainment was nothing. And that's probably what we need to start looking for now.
Lauren, so I have to ask you this question based on your stance for a lot of things. Are you going to go check out It Chapter 2, the remake It Chapter 2 and Zombieland 2? Or maybe one, none? How do you feel about those?
Well, hold. It Chapter 2 is a topic for discussion. So let's slide into It Chapter 2. The final trailer for It Chapter 2 just came out not long ago. It's being reported that the movie is going to be like 3 hours, almost 3 hours in length. and there's going to be a director's cut.
Oh,
Um, this chapter 2 is supposed to be darker, supposed to be far more horrific than chapter 1. So I don't know. I love chapter 1. I'm on board for chapter 2, however it goes. I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys think? What do you guys watching in the chat think? Are you guys on board for it, chapter 2? Let me start with you, Stingray.
I was just going to say, as long as I get to see Lynn Shay in the buff, I'm good to go with whatever, man.
Sweet.
But I'm looking forward to it. My kids are like begging me to go see it. So.
Lynn Shay is a gift. Let's just okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like the first film. I saw the first trailer, where it was showing her all nuts, with Beverly. But I haven't watched any of the other trailers. I've tried to avoid as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But it showed quite a bit, that first one.
Let's see, Stone. What do you think about it, chapter 2? You excited?
Well, here's the interesting thing, because I remember, I'm just going to throw it out there real quick, is that, I mean, I've never read the book, and I saw the TV movie once, don't care to return to it, even though I'm a certified John Ritter fan. But I passed on it, chapter 1, in the theater. I just passed on it. And finally I saw it streaming, and I really, really liked it. I was actually very, very shocked. The only thing that bothered me, even though that opening sequence, that's one of the best opening sequences I've seen in any horror movie in recent memory. My whole issue was the jump scares and the loud noises, and the jump scares. I have a short, I have a little tolerance for those things, but I liked it enough. I want to see chapter 2. I will see it in the theater. 100%.
Okay.
And I have massive respect for it. I have a massive respect for it, even though I didn't personally love it. But I'm on board for chapter 2 in the theater.
Cool. Let's see, Lauren, I think, is not with us.
Lauren's not going to go see it. I can already tell you.
Yeah, I don't think Lauren's interested in seeing it. Orc, your thoughts on it, chapter 2?
So that was an interesting movie going experience for me, because I was like, all right, I'm either going to hemorrhage and die or hopefully see a good movie. So like Stone said, I was like, okay, how good could this remake be of a film that was so-so in the first place on a made-for-TV movie? And I was like, and they're going to make 2 of these pieces of shit, and I wasn't that hyped up. And then, like what Stone said with the opening scene, I'm like, oh, okay, so he's going to the drain, and there's going to be a cheap boo scare, and it's going to be a pile of shit for an hour and a half. When he gets his hand bitten off and then he gets drugged into the drain, I was like, okay, we got a movie here. I'm like checking, I'm like, like seeing if I'm like dying and stuff, like shoveling popcorn into my face. And yeah, just the opening scene alone. And I don't know why people are like 1 out of 10 stars and they just hate on it. Because even if you really dislike the movie, it's got to be at least a 5 out of 10. I mean, it for as far as remakes go too. I mean,
it's extremely well made.
Yeah, I put it up. It's not as good as the Hills Have Eyes remake, but it's close. I mean, it's up there.
The way Georgie was killed, just that brutality, like you don't see that very often. Yes, with kids that age. So I was definitely on board, like early on with that one. I knew what was going to happen. I had just read the book. I came right off finishing the book to watch the film. That's why I was so excited to see it. Because
that's why when you see a remake, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I was disappointed by the miniseries even when I was a kid. And trying to watch it again as an adult, like it's so slow and boring. But I mean, Pennywise looks cool, but aside from Tim Curry, not much that I care about.
My girlfriend was scarred for life by the It miniseries back in the day, so she was really trepidatious about watching the new one. And she was like, after Georgie got his arm bitten off, she was like, I didn't know if I could handle it. She was like, I didn't know if I could handle the rest of the movie at that point. And then after that, I mean, she loved the movie. I mean, I think I told you guys on an episode of The Sausage Factory, she was like, she wanted Pennywise to eat all the kids. You know what I mean? So, I mean, she liked the movie after that. But that opening sequence is pretty intense. I mean, you know what's going to happen, but it's the build up to that, and how graphic will they be with it. And I thought they handled it perfectly.
Are we all in agreement that it improved upon the television version in every way, shape, and form? Or
yeah, I mean, I think
with the possible exception of Tim Curry's lead performance. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that the TV version is it's very much of its time, and it's dated. It's dated. It feels very, very much like a TV movie or TV miniseries kind of thing. I like it. I still like it. I watched it not long ago, and I still find it very enjoyable. The first half is definitely,
I dig the nostalgic factor.
Sure. The first half is much better than the second half with the adults. The kid actors, I think, are great. Tim Curry is great. Even when it gets to the adults, I mean, it's not as good, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy those performances. There is something though about that miniseries. There's this sense of just this bleakness in that miniseries, especially with the kids. I think that really added to, it freaking out people like my girlfriend back in the day. It wasn't just the clown. There was just this, I don't know, this darkness about it, this bleakness about it.
I think it plays a lot better as a miniseries, not trying to watch it as a full-length movie in one sitting. With spaces in between, one, was it like four or five parts, something like that?
Yeah.
So,
the miniseries was just 2 parts, wasn't it? It was just 2 parts. Yeah.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Yeah, it was just 2 parts. Yeah. But yeah. Well, Lauren, go ahead. I know you enjoyed it, Chapter 1. You liked it more than you thought you would.
Way more than I thought I was going to. I'm not a fan of it.
What was it about it that surprised you?
I think just that it was effective in all the places I thought it was going to stumble. When I saw the initial photos of the new Pennywise, I thought it looked over the top and just horrifically bad. And maybe we're on that road again, because I think every piece of the trailer for the second film really gives me pause, and it looks way worse to me. All the silly, like, extended faces and tongues on Pennywise, it's none of that works for me. But I have to remind myself, the first film didn't. I walked in thinking it wasn't going to work either. So maybe it'll surprise me again. I've always said that, because I don't like the novel, I've always said that I feel like the first film is the best version of a bad story that's ever been made. I want that. I mean, they can't overcome the source material because there's problems there. Is Beverly just a character motivation for the rest? Is she a damsel in distress? We go out of our way to make her not, and then suddenly she is. But that's not the filmmaker's fault. It's in the novel. And certainly there's things that they exaggerated that I think they could have pulled back and been just as effective, such as the amount of blood in the bathroom, especially since they're being very coy about the central metaphor of it, which of course is about adolescence and coming of age. It's about sex. The title "It" refers to sex, not the monster.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and they have to play kind of coy with that, because especially today in the environment it is, that wouldn't play. And but I think it's a way better first film than I expected. I thought the performances by all the kids was just awesome. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of Stand By Me in a lot of ways. People are talking Stranger Things, but I think Stand By Me is the comparison. Mm-hmm. I worried the second film, because the first made so much money and they did additional shoots to put more of the kids in, is my understanding, because they knew that was going to be a stronger aspect. It looks like it might be bloated to me, and it looks like the horror stuff is horror for a more general audience than the first film. There's just stuff I look at, like Pennywise floating on with a million balloons above him. To me, I don't know. That feels like, wow, won't that impress the housewives that showed up from Peoria? Mm-hmm. Whereas the average hardcore horror fan who was more of the target for the first film, because that's who they knew would show up at that point, I think they did go a little bit more towards the kind of horror that would work for an established horror fan. So we'll see. I mean, I will see it. I'm not going to go opening weekend because I don't want to go see it with that crowd. But
Yeah, exactly.
but I will say this. I mean, I've screamed this on the Sausage Factory and in private conversations for over a year now, is that I want desperately for things to be successful that aren't adapted, a second adaptation, that aren't, because it's not really a remake. It's just been adapted twice now. I want things that are original properties. I want to get away from the remake and sequel thing, not permanently. We just need a break right now. And I'm not sure remaking every Stephen King property is the way to do that. I don't know.
You know,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, in order to have like a really extremely successful horror film these days, don't you have to kind of play to that mainstream audience a little bit?
So what I'd say though is we forget so quickly that the stuff that we are all calling these classic horror films, whether we're talking about the original Halloween or the original Friday the 13th, or even more recently something like Silence of the Lambs, which was anyone thinking of Manhunter as a franchise when Silence of the Lambs came out? I mean, yes, there was a second novel, but even that, did people know it was based on a novel? The average person who showed up because the film caught their interest, and really, it did it on its own terms. We need that again. We desperately do. And maybe it's an actor that draws people in, as it was with Silence of the Lambs, I believe. Or maybe it's just a killer trailer that just nails it. I don't know. But we desperately need to get on to the next big cycle in American horror. Otherwise, we are going to have Halloween Kills Part 6, and we're going to have, let's remake Salem's Lot again because yay, right? We need to get away from that. But the only way that's going to happen is if some of these smaller films or that are actually trying to new things start making money, big money. So that's the challenge. We need a breakaway hit like the original Halloween was. Because believe me, no one in 77 was saying, that Black Christmas movie had something. We should make a really slick version of that. That was not what happened there. So.
I mean, it's just such a different environment than it was back then, because then, you could have word of mouth, maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the road, actually puts an audience together. But now they don't stay in the theater long enough for that, if they make it in there at all.
As we're on topic, like, one of the most hilarious things is Black Christmas gets made, and then 4 years later, well, before that, Carpenter's talking to Clark, and he's like, so what would you do for a movie? And he's like, and then he goes later on in the interview, he's like, yeah, babysitter, people getting stalked. How simple could it be on Halloween? And Clark was like, that's what I would do. And he's like, to this day, Dr. Pepper.
But you see, that's just it though. Like, if you think about Halloween, the original Halloween, it's not a perfect film. It feels like a perfect film to us, but it's not. I mean, Michael Myers being able to drive doesn't make a bit of sense. Being able to navigate back to his hometown, there's a suspension of disbelief because the movie has a point of view and an idea, and we're willing to go with it because the performances are good, and there's always something worth watching on screen. And all those things should still be available to a filmmaker today. There's none of those that are off limits or have disappeared. But we're not getting them in general. I mean, do we need another film in the Conjuring universe? Because haven't we been insulted enough? There was a freaking werewolf in the last one.
Well, and that's going to lead me into our next topic of discussion here. But let's see what's going on out in the chat.
Is White Trash Jedi there yet?
Nope, don't see him yet. My buddy Jan Man says he could care less about it. There was nothing I liked about the first one aside from the acting on the part of the kids. My buddy Turi says it looks creepy as hell. Steak Sauce says he's all in for It Chapter 2. Nocturnal Toothbrush, what's up? How you doing tonight, man? My buddy Jerpin says It Chapter 2 looks good, but didn't care for the first one, to be honest. Interesting. Midsummer. Terry mentions Midsummer as a perfect example. I guess a perfect example of of an original or a more original film, I guess. Oh, by the way, Lauren, I don't think I asked you what your thoughts were on Midsummer.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I saw it last
either.
weekend.
The bizarre thing is, I was so excited for this film, and I actually I'm almost afraid to see it because I've invested so much hope in it, and I've gotten such mixed words from everyone about it. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it's not the people who I expected to love it and hate it that come back with those reviews. I'm actually kind of scared to validate what my feelings on it, so I don't know.
I've tried to avoid everything on it because I know a lot of stuff happens. I've tried to avoid all reviews and everything because I'm really looking forward to it, but I screwed up and waited too long and didn't see it.
Hey, I know exactly how you guys feel. Every time Piz uploads a video, I'm like, I don't know if I should click on this risky click.
I mostly loved it, but it's not Hereditary.
Right.
It's not Hereditary. I mean, yeah. I'll rewatch Hereditary many, many times. Midsummer, I'll definitely see it again. I liked most of it. I think that it's worth seeing in the theater, just for the cinematography and the scenery.
Oh yeah.
Just for that alone. This is it. I know this is going to sound bizarre, but it felt to me like a cross between The Wicker Man and The Sound of Music.
Okay, so is
Does
it
that
too
sound?
much like The
Can
Wicker
you take
Man?
something? I don't want to say anything. If I haven't seen Wicker Man in decades, to be honest. I need to rewatch it, but I don't want to talk about the details of the story, not because I've forgotten some of it, but man, it's quite a journey. It's quite an experience. It made me think, and disturbing as hell. But is it like out and out creepy that will give you nightmares? Not exactly. It's very subdued.
I didn't. I'd heard all of these things about people saying that they. Like all these tweets, like people like, I just walked out of Midsummer, and like there was memes of like people vomiting and people with like their minds blown and people like gouging out their eyeballs, and I'm going like, wow, this must be an intense, and like there, I didn't think there was anything disturbing or anything to that effect about it. I mean, I didn't even think it was really a horror movie.
It wasn't really a horror movie.
So it's tamer than what I'm thinking, then, because I saw the same stuff that you did.
Yeah.
Are there bees anywhere in the movie?
No bees. No bees.
All right, so you were walking out to your car, reading the Twitterverse, and there were just all these noobs puking and like just having massive diarrhea on the side of the cars, and
people
like
were
just filthy noobs.
People were really super hyping it up, like it was really intense and freaky, and that like the ending like shook them to their core. I remember like even Jordan Peele tweeted something about like the ending, shook him or something like that. And I was just thinking like, whoa, because I mean I loved Hereditary. Hereditary
is awesome.
So and Midsummer, I would agree that Midsummer should be seen in the theater because it's a beautiful movie, and some of the visuals in that film are just so. Like here's well, it's not even a spoiler, but I mean, like you feel like you're drugged watching this movie. It's in some instances you just feel like you're drugged.
And you want to talk about an original. See, this is the type of movie that I think people should be seeing in the theater instead of the second remake of a movie with CGI lions.
Yeah, but see,
this is what people need to see.
Yeah,
Midsummer.
But see, here's the bad thing: like nobody saw it. So
nobody saw it though.
Whenever that'll be the knock. Well, we've got an original horror movie here. Well, the last original horror movie didn't make any money. Let's make another remake. Let's make another remake. Let's make a reboot. You know what I mean?
Hey, I saw John Wick 3 10 times, so I was out of money.
I like John Wick 3.
John Wick 3 was the greatest.
Yeah,
I think you don't deserve to be alive if you don't like John Wick 3, in my opinion.
I say we give Oscars to Halle Berry's dogs.
Oh yeah.
That was the one
Damn right.
that actually pissed me off, is they wouldn't like actually go the full bore and kill one of the dogs.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, after the first film, people were like, "Oh my god, no!"
I don't.
We get it.
That whole
to paraphrase,
That whole weird meme where people will deal with all kinds of murder of children but don't kill an animal on screen is just bizarre to me.
Dude, I
To
have a friend
paraphrase
who
John-
watches the
Oh,
most hardcore shit, like action movies. He shoots guns all the time. Like anytime an animal dies on screen, and then anytime there's a war or a military movie, he just won't watch it. Like
To
if a puppy gets strangled, but like a million people die in a nuclear fucking blast, he's like, oh my god, that beagle dying, Jesus.
They don't get that. I do not get that.
I don't get it either.
If you can find like a matinee Stingray of it, I would definitely check it out.
I think it's been gone for like weeks.
Oh, really? Okay. No dollar theaters near you, or
I don't have any, man. Not anymore. They've all
They're
closed
all
down.
gone.
I
They're all
wish.
gone.
I wish I did.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
I was going to say, to paraphrase John Wick himself, we get it. We don't need to see any more dogs killed. We get it.
We get
We
it.
get it.
Or
We get
Mustangs being stolen. Both are. I think the Mustang being stolen is even worse.
Then don't use it as a plot device. Then that's my thing.
We've been
But-
requested to discuss The Lighthouse. Did anybody see the Lighthouse trailer that dropped just the other day?
Oh,
No, I haven't seen it. That's
No, but
another
I-
one I'm avoiding. The
Yeah.
trailer of.
I'm avoiding it too.
The trailer looks interesting. I think it's Robert Eggers. It's the guy who did The Witch. It's like black and white. It's Willem Dafoe. It's Robert
Yes.
Pattinson.
Yes. Yes.
It looks.
This is giving me a massive hard on right now.
Oh, Orc has a cracker for you.
Hey, I thought The Witch was the best film of 2015, hands down.
You
Hang
mean
on,
the
hang
one
on.
with
The greatest horror film of the 21st century.
I
Period.
agree with that.
Okay, hang on. I
I
have
agree
some
with
great value baby
I
oil
love
to
the
assist
film for
you.
that part. What was
But-
that, Orc?
I was saying for Stone Gasman's Raging Hard On, I have some great value baby oil that I can't really show on camera.
Well, the trailer is good for The Lighthouse without, I think, really giving too much away. I mean, they just kind of set up that it's going to be. Maybe I think I said all that you need to know about it. It's Robert Eggers. It's black and white. It's basically it looks like it's a two-man show. Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson in a lighthouse, and insanity ensues. So,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Definitely.
I'm really looking forward to The Irishman, and I guess that trailer dropped. Did you guys see it?
Oh,
I've not, but I've seen people posting
Yeah.
about it. I've seen people.
Can I,
posting about it.
can I test you if did anybody see the trailer for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks?
I didn't watch it, no, but I've seen that. I've seen people posting about it too.
It's it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, but it'll probably be the well, I don't know how you guys feel about Mr. Rogers, but with Tom Hanks playing him, it's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's going to be one of the biggest hits of the Christmas season, I think.
Would
Oh,
you like to be my neighbor?
Did anybody see the Mr. Rogers documentary?
I did, yes. Yes, I saw it in the theater actually.
Oh, really good. Good.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was very
Excellent.
good. It was very good.
I paid $15 to see it, but yeah, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I was like choking up at the end of it. I was like, I'm
yeah.
good. I'm good.
It's powerful.
Do you guys think the Tom Hanks film is he going to show off all of his neo-Nazi tattoos that he's hiding under his sweater?
No.
No. They'll leave.
American
That's a
History
myth.
box
That's
of
a myth.
chocolates.
That's a myth.
They'll leave. Yeah, they'll leave that part. That part covered. But yeah, I love Mr. Rogers. Jeremy loves Mr. Rogers, so I mean, we'll probably end up watching it.
I mean, Tom Hanks
And
is great.
everybody loves
man.
McGriddles, so
Yeah. Well, of
Tom
course.
Hanks is great in everything. So,
I hate Tom Hanks.
I know you do.
no, you can't say that here. He brought home
No.
Ryan. Okay,
I think Tom Hanks is kind of like you guys seeing the Cats trailer. Come on.
That Cats trailer is pretty bad, man. That's one trailer I did watch.
Oh, now that one I've held off on.
Hey, in terms of the Cats movie, if somebody put a gun to my head, I'd say pull the trigger. No,
I
no.
think there are a bunch of furries out there that may actually get that movie like quite a big box office pull.
My buddy Jan Man wants to know where he can watch Game Over, Lauren. Your review of it has intrigued him.
So right now you can find some really bad illegal streams of it that cut off the subtitles.
Which we don't condone.
I don't condone, but realistically, right now there's no legal way to see the film. It's completely out of theaters in North America. It will be hitting Amazon streaming, but I don't have a date yet. I'm hearing November, which is a real long ways away. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in India, very little gets released domestically on physical media. It's not because they've lost their market. It was just never really a big thing. Because there's always new movies coming out. It's like they are a movie-going society. But owning movies for home is not, it was never that big a deal comparatively. But it is going to get a physical media release there because it was a big enough hit there. But yeah, no, it is the best film of this year, easily, horror or otherwise.
Cool. Let's see. Onward to Dystopia says, watch The Antichrist for something more horrific. I've actually kind of wanted to see that. From time to time.
Who directed that
Which one?
I think that's oh gosh, what's his name?
Lars von Trier.
Lars von Trier. Yeah. Lars von Trier.
Oh,
That's a good one. Another Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Is that like Passion of the Christ Part 2 or what?
No. Plastic Spoon 0101 says Midsummer was amazing. I might have taken too many edibles, and it was a perfect experience seeing it like that. I've never done edibles, but I can imagine.
Yeah, and I didn't inhale piss. Yeah, okay, shut the fuck up.
My buddy Turi says, Piz, I thought there were a lot of disturbing scenes in Midsummer. Hard to get into details without spoiling them.
yep.
Onward to Dystopia is calling for a remake of Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's a good flick.
Yeah. I don't know about a remake though.
This is what, Australian?
Yeah, it's gosh, I forget what's the guy who directed it. Peter
Weir.
Peter Weir. Yes.
Yes, Peter Weir. He also directed The Truman Show and Witness, a bunch of other good movies. Yeah.
I don't want to see an American remake of that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys seen Picnic at Hanging Rock, but it's actually it's one of my favorite Australian movies, and it's one of those types of movies where the mystery surrounding it is so massive and intriguing, and just everything about it. I mean, you're just mesmerized by it, and I have my own theories about it, which I won't go into, but I mean, it's just one of the eeriest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Eerie to the nth degree. I can't highly recommend it enough. And that's why a remake, I would almost be willing for Peter Weir to come back and just make a follow-up. I'd rather have that.
Is it streaming anywhere, or do you have to watch it on VOD or something?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm sure you can track down a DVD pretty easily. But it is a very, very good movie. I highly recommend it as well.
Yes.
It's on Prime for $3.
It's on Prime for good.
There you go.
Let's slide into talking about some Stranger Things season 3. And the thing about Stranger Things season 3 for me has anybody else seen the entire season 3 here other than me?
No.
What about you, Stingray? No? Oh, okay. Well,
I have fuck the Duffer Brothers, and you know exactly what I mean at the end of season 3. Fuck them. I'll watch season 4, but fuck them.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. But
at the end with the character, I'll just say that.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
You have to see it to get the meme.
Well,
he knows what I mean.
Well, here's the thing though. I know they're already doing like a season 4, but I mean, just stop while you're ahead. Stop while you're ahead before you become The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? I know I know you're popular. I'm sure Netflix is throwing
Yeah.
tons of money at these Duffer Brothers guys to keep it going. But man, at some point they're going to run out of stories. At some point they're going to start, just cutting corners, and it's going to end up, you know what I mean? They're going to end up in a Game of Thrones season 8 or a scenario or a just a Walking Dead scenario where it's like they can't end the show now. It's just going to go on and on and on until, they're just going to, I don't know, go out on top. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But-
I originally, like when season 1 finished, I thought they said like season 2 or 3 was going to be the last. But obviously, money talks.
Yeah.
After 1 blew up and, everyone was going crazy before season 2 came out and they were catching up watching season 1, they said, we want to do 4 seasons. It still might be that way, but they'll throw more money at them, like Piz said. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as big as The Walking Dead and have like 90 seasons. But yeah, man, the character, what happens to him, or it, I should say. I was legit pissed. Like, I was triggered as fuck, like that they would do that to that character. Yeah, I can't go more into detail. Or it's just like Orc is so stupid.
Well, but
yeah.
The thing that I took away from that entire season, and I actually got on my soapbox on social media, and I was like, watching Stranger Things 3 is depressing because the show just time and time again solidifies how much better movies were in the 80s. Because episode 1, they're in the theater watching Day of the Dead. There's another episode where during a very dramatic moment, they're playing the Day of the Dead theme during that sequence.
To go off what you're saying, this isn't a spoiler, but there's the Back to the Future part.
There's Back to the Future in there. There's all these little references to other movies. There's like a Halloween 2 reference in there, and it just constantly reminds you movies were so much better. And I was thinking in 30 years, if there's a Stranger Things type show happening and it's set now, what are the cultural entertainment touchstones that they'll be referencing? Will they be referencing Captain Marvel? Will they be referencing The Last Jedi?
It's going to be like MC Hammer.
John Wick. They're going to reference John Wick.
Like Vanilla Ice is going to be in the next movie.
Yeah.
I mean, next series.
Stranger Millennials. It's a bunch of chicks who are like, wow, I love The Descent. Let's go spelunkering. Oh my God.
I was just thinking man, what movies today in 30 years will people be talking about?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. There's just no contemporary equivalent to
yes, there is.
Back to the Future any of the Indiana Jones movies.
No, there is. It's called
Star
Fast
Wars
and the Furious
movies.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, there's just nothing.
No.
There, man.
But Fast and the Furious has the greatest movie quote of all time. I live my life 1 quarter mile at a time, and for those 60 seconds, I'm free. It's something like that. I don't know.
I think about like
that'll work.
I think there's an assumption being made that the generation that would be nostalgic for today is going to care about anything from their youth. I think they're going to move on to the next thing, the next thing, next thing. They're a generation that thinks completely differently. I don't think they will have nostalgia for their youth like we do because they haven't had a youth. They got pushed out of childhood at 7?
Well, I mean, I just think about, a lot of the stuff that we hold near and dear, like nostalgia love. I know like B-Movie Mike kind of laughed at a lot of that because, he thought it was a joke, because he was a little bit older, was able to see that stuff. But, we were kids and, kind of grew up with some of that stuff. So it's maybe like the same type thing. Like the things we laugh at, like Transformers or something is going to be like really big in like 20 years. Like, man, those Transformer movies are the best.
But isn't it just going to be weird when there's no more optical drives on anything? And they're like, not 4K Blu-ray players, because, I mean, that's going to suck when those go out of print. But when they're like, in Japan and Korea and China, and Thailand, they're done making Blu-ray players. I'm just going to be like, okay. Well, I'm glad they made 1 million DVD and Blu-ray players to begin with, because, yeah. That's just going to be weird. That when that day comes and it's like, Netflix Ultimate subscription, $29.99 a month with 50 million people on one account. It's just going to be weird. A robot's making your McGriddle. The iRobot that ran away from Will Smith is making your McGriddle. Would you like sausage or bacon?
I think that's happening pretty soon. I think.
Sooner than people think, dude. I was talking to Jay about this because Terminator fans all the way. T2. There's one more chip, bro. One more chip. And I'm not talking about Ruffles. I think by 2030 in 11 years, shit's gonna be way different. And whether you watch like Democratic or Republican debates or just political debates in general, they're like, we kind of need some kind of universal income because all the fucking jobs are going to be gone from fucking Mitsubishi robots and shit. And I'm like, people have that's why when people are like Siri and Google and Alexa are so cool, I'm like, you have no fucking idea like what the shit show that's about to happen. I'm not saying Skynet's going to happen or anything like that, but they're just like, yeah, I love technology, and I'm like, I like it too, until it listens to everything I'm fucking doing. Jesus Christ, so it just makes me sad.
Hey, what's up, Randall Beatty? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Fast and the Furious needs to stop already. I agree, Manny. I agree. I think they've ran the course with that series, time and time again. That I don't know.
I have a random question.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Did any of you guys see that movie Stuber?
No. Oh, no.
No.
Did you read the irony that Uber just laid off 400 workers?
Oh, wow.
After that movie came out. I don't know if it is connected to the movie or not, but remember that Uber is in Stuber. And remember that the guy the star of the movie, Kumail, is that his name? Yeah, he was in The Big Sick where he also played an Uber driver. So wrap that around.
Stone. So what's the plot for that movie? And then did Lyft take a hit too, or what happened?
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Okay, so what's the plot for this Uber driver movie? And then did Lyft take a hit too?
I don't know.
It's like
he picks up what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Batista.
Oh, the actor everyone loves because of Guardians of the shitty Galaxy. Yeah, no, he's not The Rock. He's just another. You know the movies that went straight to DVD that Stone Cold was in, and Triple H and Randy Orton. That's what kind of shit tier actor Batista is. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a good wrestler, football player, and actor, and he deserves to be the highest paid, and he'll surpass Tom Cruise. This Dave Batista, bro, he sucks at wrestling, and he's even worse at acting. Fuck that guy. Say it to his fucking little stupid face.
Batista was good. I thought he was very good in
what, dropping people on their heads with the Batista bombs, breaking their fucking necks? No, he wasn't. Sorry, bro.
I thought he was very good in Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
I liked him as a wrestler. Personally,
I liked him in Spectre.
Oh God. Terrible. Where's Oddjob when you need him? He should have threw his career at people. Just fucking. What I should have done.
Let's move on to
hashtag Team Rock.
Are there any movies that you guys are looking? Are there any Marvel fans here? You guys Marvel fans? Any of you guys fans of the movies?
I still haven't seen Endgame yet.
Me either.
Were there
see all the way, dude?
Were there any of the Phase 4 movies that were announced at San Diego Comic-Con recently? Did any of those pique your interest? I mean, I'm glad to see that there's a new Blade movie coming. Marsala Ali is a great actor. I think he'll do well with it. I got to admit, though, I was very, very relieved after I heard the announcement that there was going to be another Blade movie, that they did not then announce that Blade was going to be portrayed by a 90-pound woman.
Or the return of Sticky Finger.
We're going to flip the script. Blade's a female now.
Yeah.
The only thing that's kind of sucks is we'll never get a Tomb of Dracula movie because they keep doing the Blade thing. Which is where the character comes from. And
I don't care. Hashtag Blade, Wesley or nothing.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Are they going to
check
go
out the new one? But the first two Blade films are two of the greatest films ever made. And in my opinion, the first Blade film is the best vampire and the best comic book movie ever made. And anyone else who thinks differently is wrong. Fuck the Dark Knight Blade all day long. gets bit. His mom gets bit when she's about to have Wesley Snipes, the Blade. What more badass can you get than that? And then before Steven Dorff was doing fucking vape commercials, he was all about the fucking walking on a beach. How more badass can you get? Half vampire, half human. Best graphic novel, best vampire movie. The only vampire movie that comes close is Let the Right One In. That's it.
What were you gonna say,
awesome.
Stone? Go ahead, Stone. What are you gonna say?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, awesome. But I mean, yeah, and I can't imagine. I don't know if I can watch a PG-13 Blade. I just don't know if I can.
It's confirmed it's PG-13?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll check it out.
It's like RoboCop. I mean, you can't do that.
No. But why would they do that after the money that Deadpool and Logan, both Deadpool movies and Logan?
That's what doesn't make sense to me. Is Marvel just going to release just PG-13 only? They're never going to get adult?
I saw something that
maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know.
Monty was talking about this on Twitter, I believe, that Wesley Snipes has a legitimate martial arts background, and he didn't know that whatever the guy you said his name earlier is going to be playing Blade, he has a theater background, so he didn't know if he could handle but it may all be CGI now anyway, so who knows?
Yeah.
The fight choreography or whatever.
Yeah. I just I don't know. Of all the Marvel movies that are coming out, I mean, Blade is the only one I'm kind of interested in because I think Mahershala Ali's a really good actor. But I mean, they'll probably screw it up. I'm sure.
I mean, it just blows my mind after both Deadpool movies and Logan that it's PG-13, and I get why it doesn't star Wesley Snipes. And I'll give it a chance, and I'm not going to be like, it ruined my childhood, like all these people did with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and shit. But that's really surprising that Stone brought that up. How can you make a Blade movie? Dude, he's kicking syringes into people's fucking foreheads and slicing and dicing.
Well, I mean,
people.
you can get away with you can get a lot with PG-13 these days, but I mean, it's a Disney Marvel movie. They're not going to do anything R-rated.
The character that appeared, the character that originally appeared in Tomb of Dracula is not nearly what they did for the Snipes films. I think they'll just go back to what it was originally, which would be fine with PG-13, but it's going to be very different.
Oh man!
What is he gonna do? The new guy throw glitter on people, and they're just gonna fucking disintegrate?
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck,
it makes zero sense.
It's gonna
just go R. Just go R.
Go all the way with it. I guarantee that the vampires are going to be really like a corporate, like businessman vampire, and it's going to be more of a intrigue type movie. I guarantee it's not going to be the romp that it was before.
No, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Speaking of, today is Wesley Snipes' birthday, so happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday!
Should have never gone to jail.
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 31st.
It's all good though. It's all good.
It's not all good. He should have never went to jail, bro. Dude, Passenger 57, Blade 1, 2, and 3 all day.
He was released in 2013. So is he blacklisted or something from Hollywood?
No, I mean I think he's probably in kind of the same boat as like a Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's an older action hero. There's no roles for older action heroes.
Except for Bruce Willis when he makes the 6 Old Habits Die Hard movie.
There was a lot of problems with Blade Trinity.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, got him. But the Blade Trinity, there was a lot of problems on production with Wesley. I think he kind of was hard to work with. So I'm sure that has gotten around too. So
yeah, I heard about that. He was not happy with the movie, and I don't blame him. The movie sucked.
I watched it again recently. I didn't hate it as much as the first time. It's definitely not on par with the previous 2.
I don't I mean, they had it's throw Morbius in there. It's the third one. Throw Morbius in there for God's sake.
True. But the way people look at Blade Trinity is how I look at Die Hard 2. For your normie casual fan of those movies, they get way too much hate. Even though Die Hard 2 is way better than Blade 3. Yeah. But Blade Trinity to me is like how people jizz over Halloween 3. They're like, oh my god, it's the greatest fucking movie of all time. That's how I kind of see Blade 3.
If you're making a vampire type story and you throw in Dracula, you are officially completely out of ideas at that point. That's like the jump the shark moment.
Again, just do the source material then. don't make him a modern character. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Joe Reese says, "Hey Pizzow, what about James Wan doing a pilot movie for I Know What You Did Last Summer that will become a television series?" I heard something about that, and I was just like,
You just triggered Orc big time because you can defend anything Wan does.
Well, you have any better directors that are fucking on the scene, bro?
Yeah.
John Carpenter's smoking weed. What do you want? The fucking who?
Virtually anyone who's made a
okay, that are from an English speaking country that your normal person would know in fucking Dairy Queen or Walmart. That isn't Eli Roth or Adam Green or Ty West, who James Wan completely shits on all those guys. And when you do complete filmography, Insidious, both Conjuring films, Saw,
both Conjuring films. The second film where you have to play 2 tapes at the same time.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Dead Silence, dude. No master of horror as they proclaim them. That your average American horror fan, as weird of a stupid like title as that is, James Wan shits on every other person. That is like well known. Or a master of horror.
I don't dislike the early James Wan movies, but I just don't. I think there was way too many jump scares. I think there's too many loud sounds. I think he makes very professional looking films. I think he goes back to the same tropes time and time again, though. And I completely disagree about Conjuring 2. I think Conjuring 2 is a piece of crap. It's again, when you use your concept that the movie that you're watching is based on reality, you then have to base it in some kind of logic that would be like applicable in this world. And there's a lot in that second movie that is just batshit nuts, and not in a fun way. It has great performances. Yeah, and I love the score. I love the use of even the pop music of the time. It's great. But if you want to compare it with a much better film from the same period, any of the Hammer productions when they came back onto the scene, any of them. I don't know. I think just Juan made Aquaman, and that's what with me as he made a Fast and the Furious film.
Yeah, and that wasn't actually half bad. It was the one where Paul Walker died during the filming of. But here's how I look at the North American English speaking masters of horror. Juan's up here. Ty West made some pretty good shit. He's right here.
I agree.
And then Adam Green is like kind of there. And then Eli Roth. Oh, look, my hand disappeared. Oh, it's gone. It's not there anymore. Wow.
Jerpin says Halloween 3 is the greatest movie of all time work. So you've been touche.
No, dude. I like Halloween 5 better. Way better.
Oh, no.
Way better.
The worst film of the franchise.
Halloween 5?
No, what?
Rob Zombies? What?
Halloween 5 is the worst
Stone
movie
Gasman,
of the
let me see your
franchise.
face. Stone Gasman, let me see your face. Hang on. You're saying Halloween 5 is worse than the zombie films. Is this real life right now?
Wait, am I agreeing with Orc? What the hell's going on?
Halloween 5?
I think we've been drugged. We've been drugged.
We've been drugged? Oh, no.
I mean, I can get fentanyl, but I didn't want to. You're saying, wait, Stone, my man, you're saying Halloween 5 is worse than the zombie films. No, I want to see your face.
Yes.
Please. What?
Yes.
No.
They are worse than the zombie movies.
No.
They are worse.
Okay.
They are worse. The zombie movies I can watch in their own world, separate from any of those other movies, to be honest. Halloween 5 is like the biggest downbeat, disappointing follow-up to Halloween 4 I don't love, but I respect it so much, and I understand why people love it. Halloween 5, how can you forgive? How can you forgive?
Forget.
They were so impatient.
No, Donald Pleasance
to get
going
this
ham
out.
sandwich with a 2x4. Donald Pleasance going hacksaw Jim Duggan on Mikey Myers. How can you forget that?
No, screw that. Or running down a child with a car.
Michael Myers crying. He's got the feels too. Okay.
I think 5.
I'd rather I'd rather buy both directors' cuts of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies than watch
Hey, I'm
Halloween
not hating on your
5
comment. To
again.
each his own, but that's a big statement.
Just to
You're
listen to
giving money
Rob
to
Zombie's.
Zombie?
Hey, just to listen to Zombie's audio commentary.
Yeah.
This is a stripper. Love hurts.
But see,
Yes, exactly.
here's the thing. Onward to
Watch it. Yeah.
Onward to Dystopia.
Yes.
And he's correct. He says, "Yeah, but the Howling 7 beats them all."
Yeah. Oh God.
So.
And Stone, let me get this clear, man. Or let me get this straight. Like, I
Yes.
respect your opinion, but that's powerful,
Of course.
man. Like, I love the Halloween franchise, but those zombie films suck dick. Like, I mean, three guys in a
look.
contest.
Hey, Pizowell, believe me, I know Piz was so depressed after he saw the first Rob Zombie Howling in the theater, okay? I know.
Okay,
I get it, my man.
Stone,
I get
Stone,
it.
I love you, all right? New York love, dude. I was born in Valhalla. Okay. Born in Valhalla.
I have my own weird opinion of the Halloween franchise.
No. Here's the ultimate test. The testosterone and pumping iron. Okay. Do you hate any Friday the 13th movie out of all 12 of them more than Halloween 5? Here's the meme, boys. No.
I'd agree with that.
Ooh.
No.
No. Not one. I'd rather watch every one of them for the rest of my life over Halloween 5.
So Piz and I have agreed not to talk about certain things, so we have to be quiet for a while.
We talk about Rob Zombie's Halloween films so much. I'd really like to do a commentary on them at some point.
We should.
Because I haven't seen them since the theater, and now I own both of them thanks to you guys.
Oh man, that first one will be rough for me to get through, man. I don't know.
Wait a second. You made me watch License to Drive and you're complaining about this shit?
License to Drive. Okay. License to Drive is 90 minutes. Rob Zombie's Halloween is like over 2 hours.
Lauren, remember you
You're so bloated.
I was sleeping.
Motherfucker doesn't show up.
And remember,
that's what all the ladies say to me. They're like, "When are you gonna show up?"
Remember that he got Octavia Spencer in Halloween 2.
I think we should try and not commit suicide, okay, or have a James Jones moment, and watch both of the Halloween movies back to back and pick a charity, and then any donation that Piz gets from going through whatever the best charity website is, I think we should just give to that, and it's like dollar donations or something. That would be fun. I think.
Yeah, but it'd have to be something that made sense for the film. So it couldn't be a good charity. It'd have to be like Feed a Stripper's Children charity or something.
Homeless trailer parks that in need.org or something. I don't know.
We're watching the Rob Zombie films to cure sickle cell anemia or something.
Yeah, dude. When they get a check for $300 and then that cures cancer, it's like, Rob
$300 is going to cure cancer.
Well, maybe
you never know.
Maybe that's the amount that put them over the top to find the cure.
They were just sure.
Dude, it's some guy in Switzerland. That can of Monster and that pie of pizza, that 16-inch pie of pizza and pythons, is what cures it right there, dude.
We'll just give our $300 to Joe Biden.
Rather than do that, can we just all go out and buy VHS copies of The Kindred and do that as a commentary? I think it'd be much more fun for all of us.
My buddy Jan Man says, by chance, did you guys see the full CW Batwoman series trailer? It's the cringiest thing.
Oh, no.
I did see it. I saw both trailers for it. It looks like something that would have aired. It looks like something that would have aired in syndication at 3 o'clock in the morning on WGN in 1992.
After or before the repeat of Bozo the Clown?
No, we're talking 3 a.m., not like a 10 a.m. We're talking 3 a.m. It's like some kind of show. Like it just looks beyond awful. Beyond awful.
I watched that stuff though. I was up watching Xena Warrior Princess at 2 a.m. back then. So.
Xena Warrior Princess looks like freaking art.
Oh, dude. Stone Gassman was talking about hard-ons, dude. Hercules and Xena. Jesus Christ, that was my after school special. Throwing a little bagel bites, little Coke. You're good. Hot Pockets. Damn. That little yodel she does all day, all fucking day.
A Jerpian in the chat wants to remind you, Lauren, that License to Drive is a masterpiece, and agree.
I'm responding to him right now. Don't worry.
And with all due respect to Hercules and Xena, they did not have the impact on me that Conan the Barbarian did.
Or what about what was the one with Bruce Campbell, Briscoe County Jr. or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You know, they did a series for Conan back in those days. You guys see that?
I don't think so.
The guy that played Conan was absolutely huge. He was roided out of his mind. He could barely speak English, so it was so fitting.
Maybe I did see that. Now that you mentioned that,
I mean, he was massive.
Kind of rings some bells. I don't know,
but otherwise, it was terrible. A great cast.
Maybe next season on the Sausage Factory, we need to just pick a day and say this is our Rob Zombie Halloween live commentary.
I'd be down for that.
Maybe.
Piz, why is it always scheduling? I like to plan things out too. I'm like Jay the Pro Ray, okay? So, why don't we just do it? Just do it now. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Do it now.
Do it now.
No, we can't.
This whole fucking thing sucks. All right.
I have to buy the movies first.
Dude, just watch them for free. They're not worth buying anyway. You waste money. It's like flushing.
No, I gotta listen to I gotta listen to Rob Zombie's commentary.
We'll watch the commentary. We'll do the commentary, and then I'll send my disc to you because I don't want that.
Okay, fine. That's a deal.
No, we're gonna watch them back to back without the commentaries, then with the commentaries, and then he probably did another commentary saying how awesome he is, and then he's another one.
He discovered Octavia Spencer. That's all I'm saying.
Oscar winner, right?
Damn right. There's no other Oscar winner in the Halloween franchise.
Are you guys looking
for Boom!
Three from Hell? You guys excited about that?
3 from Hell.
Okay, so can anyone with movie knowledge, aka you guys, it got screened it's going to get screened in September, but it was going to come out like on Halloween. What's the latest with that? Is it going to get a theatrical release or?
It'll probably get like a really limited one.
Yeah, it's limited.
Yeah, probably get a really limited one, and then it'll end up on, Blu-ray and streaming.
And Rob Zombie will walk around with a placard trying to sell it on street corners.
Probably.
Yeah, that last one he did went straight to like a crazy platform. I don't remember what it was.
Pyramid scheme is what it did.
It was, yeah. I don't remember what it was, but it was like straight to something that I actually had, and I watched it.
I mean, 31
going to Shudder? Yeah. But I liked House and Devil's Rejects, so I'll check it out. I mean, I'm guessing streaming it'll hit before Christmas, right before. So, everyone with a trailer can watch it and enjoy it for the holiday season. And then, like every movie that comes out in the fall, it'll come out in February. But
it's going to be a day late, dollar short type situation.
Yeah.
But and plus, they all Zombie. Spoiler alert, but they all died at the end of Devil's Rejects.
They're all back though. They're
of course.
They're back from hell.
Wait, is it like a Jason, Friday Part 6, like Resurrection? They just a bunch of stakes go in.
Who knows? Who knows?
They're all actual zombies now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Am I the only one that's interested in Knives Out? Ryan Johnson's Knives Out with Jamie Lee Curtis and Toni Collette and Michael Shannon and Daniel Craig.
I haven't heard of that.
Never even heard of it.
Please speak more.
Really?
I have no idea. Nope.
Oh yeah, Ryan Johnson directed it. Last Jedi. But it's got a hell of a cast, and it's a mystery.
Well, yeah. What's it about, though? I have no idea. Like these.
I have no idea either, but it's a mystery. He's going back to his Brick roots.
Well, I mean, I loved Brick. I mean,
I did too. Brick is awesome.
Loved Brick.
Yes.
Brick's a great flick.
Yep.
Chris Evans, man, that's got a heck of a cast in it.
It's got a hell of a cast. I mean, you can't get better than that cast. You really can't.
Don Johnson, Christopher Plummer. Yeah.
Frank Oz. What the hell? Emmett Walsh, who's like 97 now. Damn.
Wait, Didn't he die?
No, he's still alive, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's 84. My bad. Okay.
We need to make a website and patent it. Is this guy alive? Stillliving.net.
But yeah, that's a hell of a cast right there. I'm down.
Let's see. We've pretty much covered all the topics I wanted to talk about tonight. There's a couple of other ones, but nothing major. Terminator: Dark Fate. They've apparently reshot about most of that movie at this point, from what I've heard. They've completely reshot the beginning of the film, which was supposed to involve the death of John Connor, but now John Connor apparently survives. And they've cast Edward Furlong to return as John Connor.
I thought that was disproven.
Yeah, that's not real.
Is that not real?
That's not real.
Are you sure that's not real?
It's not real.
Yeah, only a maniac would cast Edward Furlong anything.
Well,
I am not religious at all, but I'm hoping John Wayne Rambo and this last Terminator can at least be halfway.
Oh, the Last Blood movie. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
That's why I wish Rambo was here.
Yes.
He will be. We will fund his movie process.
He better come as a.
The reshoots for Terminator: Dark Fate were definitely not disproven. I think they reshot about half that movie, which is probably a good idea because that.
I don't think they saved anything though.
Probably not. Probably.
So, yeah,
Didn't test well, or
Eddie Furlong was back for just some voice work at the beginning of the film. There's going to be a CGI version of him.
Well, see, that's what I figured. They would do something with his face on
another actor. And there's actually an actor that's listed on IMDb for the John Connor role. So,
until November 3rd, I'm hoping It Chapter 2 can be good, and I think it will be. Same with Zombieland 2, even though the trailer's kind of like meh, pokey a little bit. But I am just hoping, I'm not even for them to be good, but Rambo 5 and Terminator 6 to be. My expectations aren't low. They're like right below all the shit and crap that's on the movie theater floor that your feet stick to. Just like at that level, maybe a little bit higher. That's the best I'm hoping for.
Do you want to be preached at? Because if you want to be preached at, you're going to love Terminator 6.
Please.
No.
Why is that the platform? Let's take like a dude action movie and make it.
Lauren, go into detail. I'm not shit talking either. Please explain.
The whole film is about the whole film is about the immigration debate. The whole film.
Okay, wait. So hold up. Like I cut everybody off because I'm an asshole. But it's immigration debate and it's PC as well.
Now, yes, yeah, because the idea is that the new future leader of the rebellion is a Hispanic woman.
So is Rambo 5 going to be set on like the Mexican border and like Lou
No,
Dobbs is going to show up?
I thought we were talking about Terminator. I'm sorry.
No. We are, but I'm just saying, are they probably going to go the same with Rambo 5?
Yeah, but in the opposite direction. I think that's going to be like, dangerously conservative.
Hey, I'll take it. I mean, as long as it's. I mean, if he's throwing ninja stars and shit.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to die in the Rambo.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Fuck yeah.
That's the name of Stallone's autobiography. Dangerously conservative.
I thought you were going to be a lot of people's going to die. I thought that was the
some TMZ person reported that he was dead, and oh my god, he made 3 videos on Instagram. They were so funny. Like he's like 74, like Kim Schwarzenegger, the same age, but he's like, hey yo, I'm not fucking dead. And he's like, he always goes like this with the camera at the end of every Instagram video. He's like he's trying to prove like he's like tough or something. It's hilarious. He's like, I'm at Churchill Downs and still fucking alive, man. Still here. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's fly. Everyone's like, all right, $5,000 for an autograph. Oh yeah.
And there's one more thing I want to say about Terminator 6, which is that this is not going to just be Lauren hates Jim Cameron, because he had almost nothing to do with the movie, despite the fact that throwing his name as a producer all over it. He basically has sold the rights back to the people who had the rights before.
He doesn't care.
No.
He only cares about Avatar.
Why would he? Yeah.
He only cares about Avatar.
It's another commercial property from a studio that doesn't understand why the first film worked.
And clearly they don't understand why the second film is superior.
Oh God.
Okay, so I know everyone shits on. Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
Did you have to do that, Biz?
You mean Speak the Truth? Yes.
You have to add that to the list, I think.
The movie where the villain disappears for 40 minutes and they hang out in the desert and do nothing but talk about like the future that doesn't even matter by the end of the film.
Well, I'm sorry the movie has a heart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that the movie has a soul. Okay? I wish the movie was just dark, drab, bleak, godless nihilism. That's all you care about, Lauren.
Pretty much. You speak the truth, man.
I want character building and heart and soul. Okay? And that's what Terminator 2 gave us.
Oh wait, no, wait a second. Are you claiming? No, never mind. I can't go there. I forgot. We have that
It's
truth.
dumb. It's going down.
We have the truth. It's over. I'm stepping away from the DMZ.
Okay, now my feels are hurt right now because these are two mega directors that I love dearly. What's Cameron? What's his name? John Cameron? James Cameron. Thank you.
Jimmy Cameron.
He's apparently an asshole. Jimmy Carter. James Caan.
Yeah.
James Caan is apparently an asshole at directing, and now Tony Scott is dead. Is Ridley Scott at least cool? Because he was good on the director's chair with Robert Rodriguez.
Ridley Scott is paranoid.
Can you have like a cup of Starbucks with him, or is he just gonna rage at you outside of Starbucks like Tarantino? Hey, turn that shit off, man. I'm in Utah, in Salt Lake City.
I think Ridley Scott is the British analog to Clint Eastwood. That's what I think. He's just like the out of that old guy that we kind of still like.
I don't. But would Ridley Scott really be mean though? I mean, I guess. I remember when I was interviewing Steve Johnson, and I was like, tell me about Jim Cameron. He was like, what did he call him? He was like, I was like, what was Jim Cameron like to work with? He's an asshole, is what he said. And he was like, no, seriously. He was like, he's the only director I ever worked with who he spoke down to me on such a level, and he just tore me down on such a level, like I literally cried. The only director I ever worked with who made me cry.
Which movie was this, Piz?
Let's see, what movie did he work on for Cameron? I think it was The Abyss, or which one?
Had to be
The Abyss.
I'm pretty sure it was The Abyss,
which I believe is Cameron's masterpiece, but that's just me.
Well, when you almost drown your actors, that happens, right?
Yeah.
He kept threatening to trash my lights the whole time we were making the movie.
Hey, if only Ted White went through. Fuck the chorus. Hashtag keep it alive. Let's go, Lauren.
That's too easy.
Well, guys, why don't we call it a stream? I think we've covered just about everything I wanted to cover tonight. We've gone for about 2 hours, and we've had, as we always do, just an interesting stream. So, big thanks to you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you guys for being patrons. I appreciate that too. Big thanks to everybody who was in the chat tonight and who tuned in and watched with us. I appreciate that. Had a lively chat as usual tonight as well.
And we have a new segment right now. Piz didn't want to go there and introduce this great segment, but on the first installment of Lauren's Lovable Life, what do you have to say, Lauren, this week?
I talked about my hernia surgery today. We already have gone far enough into my life.
Yeah, hernia surgery. What was the recovery time on that, Lauren?
I went back to work in 2 weeks. They wanted me out for 4, and I wasn't ready. So,
okay.
But I was bored at home.
Was it the laparoscopic or?
Oh no, it was.
Oh, the full on. Wow, that sucks. That's a fast recovery.
Well, not really because I wasn't recovered, but but no mesh, all natural.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
Just then, next week we're going to be premiering the Sausage Factory sausages, which will help you recover really fast, like Lauren, and become straight up savage, like Jay.
Better
than Omaha steaks.
How long ago was your surgery, Lauren?
I think we're working on 12 years now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I had the hernia since I was 18. I had it for over a decade.
How did you?
Wow.
Do you know how you got it?
I don't have a memory of like tearing the muscle. I don't have that memory of being in pain, but I definitely have a memory of first noticing the lump, which was I didn't know what was, And then later I did my own research and found out, yeah, that's your intestine trying to get out of your body. It's exciting.
Oh, and then you had to push it back in.
Yeah, just finger push it back in a very sensitive place.
Oh. Very, very, very graphic.
Can I get a real talk?
You've had a real talk tonight, or
no? Because this is a real life situation. Okay, this is real.
Okay, go for it.
Jay, can I get a real talk?
That's a real talk.
Lift very carefully. Check for polynatal cysts very carefully, male or female, because any abdomen problem. Not that mine was worse or better. I mean, worse or more hardcore than Lauren's, because he probably has me beat by a mile.
No.
Intestinal problems are not fun. Whether it's a hernia, whether it's having an ileostomy like me, avoid those at all costs. So if you need to get to the doctor and maybe get something checked out, I highly recommend you do so. Because as Lauren just said, it fucking sucks.
Wise
you
words.
went to work in 2 weeks.
Wise words.
Beast mode.
Get your pet spayed and neutered.
Get your pet spayed and neutered, yes.
Don't get a kidney stone like Piz, because that's hell too.
Yeah, no,
I hope I never get one.
That wasn't fun. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys at home for watching. Remember, spade, neuter those pets. And we'll see you guys again real soon. So have a good one. Take care. And until next time, peace.
The Hell Factory, bye. Signing out.